welcome. Oh, hello, and welcome. This is going to be a MadameThanatas reading, all signs for the next 48 hours. This is August 6th, so that is through the 8th, which is Lionsgate, so we're already heading up to that big energy coming in. And I'm still kind of getting this energy for everybody coming in that's kind of, it's okay to wait. And give yourself grace for things said out of ego. And embrace the absurd a little more. Right now, there's a lot of fogginess going on, just with everything. And so what you see in front of you might not necessarily be what is happening. Okay, we got too many cards that come out. I'm going to keep shuffling. If these cards are meant to come out, they'll come out. But yeah, like don't necessarily go with what's right in front of you, but also don't have your BS detector on too thoroughly, because then you might be connecting dots that don't actually exist there. There's a fair amount, I think, especially with this Leo energy, of kind of like savior syndrome going on too, so be mindful. Like don't jump into codependent tendencies, but also be mindful that there are some times that it is right and appropriate to, you know, to, I don't know, like to not just do something just to avoid a past pattern. Like that's kind of the lesson to learn right now, I think, is we're in all these cycles, and the lesson right now is kind of like looking at where you have grown and how, looking for the contrast, I think, between like where some things that you used to do got unhealthy, but they're a healthy choice now. And a lot of people are kind of feeling that energy coming in. All right, so what we have so far, we have the Five of Swords, the King of Wands, the Five of Pentacles in reverse, and the Six of Wands in reverse. So, I mean, just going off of their like almost literal meanings, we have conflict. We have a fiery king who is kind of a brat in a good playful way when he's in upright. He is a king, but he is one of the youngest kings, and this is Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo energy, which makes sense. This card's been popping out a lot during this Leo season. We have, this can either be a focus on lack, being in kind of a victim mindset, or it can actually be a breakthrough, because in upright, it's definitely a focus on lack. It's feeling left out in the cold, seeking assistance, praying, things like that. And in this way, it can often mean kind of like this card. If this card's like this, it's actually resolutions, apologies, things like that. So this one could actually be, I'm kind of getting a stronger pull that it's a bit of a breakthrough in terms of getting away from this mindset, from this mindset of being left out in the cold. It's like, and because this is a card about recognition and ego, and also about like the warrior coming home and feeling welcome to it, this is being knocked off your ego. And we're seeing a fair amount of communication stuff here, but because only one is upright, I'm getting the sense that if communication does come in from somebody you're waiting for, or maybe even someone you don't expect, it might be a little wishy-washy, for lack of a better way to put it. Communication's a little bit weird. Now, looking at, I find an interesting pattern here we got going on. All of these characters are staring at this card. So the King of Wands, the characters in the Two of Pentacles that feel left out, and this writing champion who's had his ego knocked down a few layers are all looking over here at this. So that tells me that there's some sort of situation for everybody in some form or another that's like all eyes on conflict. Because this is somebody like, he has made these other two characters feel like they're not worthy of their swords and made them drop them so that he can pick them up and carry them away. And even the clouds in this card, like if you look at any of the other cards that have clouds in them, let's see if I can find one real quick here. Yeah, like look at this card. So the clouds in this one, they're very artistic. They're out there. The clouds in this one are very jagged. And I know there's been kind of a fogginess going on for everybody, so what I'm getting the sense of is that the conflict is not necessarily clear. Like whatever is going on for everybody, there's a bit of confusion as to what it is, but we're all kind of being challenged to look at how we play either of these roles, as either the person who feels like something has been stolen from them, which could be something as simple as time. It could be relationships, it could be money, it could be something, because the swords are thoughts, and they're also boundaries. You know, it's like somebody knocking down our boundaries and getting us to walk away from that which is ours. And the king is staring at this. So you might have some people that are in fiery energy or that have strong fire placements, that are kind of trying to step into a king role, but they're still kind of young and new at it. They're a little more matured than the King of Swords, but they're definitely not King of Pentacles yet. They're not even King of Cups yet. So they're still kind of dealing with their emotions. And there are some people, I'm going to say this is two different things, and, you know, leave some comments below to resonate. For some people, I think this is going to be the energy that these are the thoughts that are going on in this person's mind, whether this is you, and this can be any gender, that some folks might be feeling like they're ready to have an emotional breakthrough from a situation that they're in where they feel like they're not getting ahead and they're in like a poverty mindset. They're ready to break free from that, and they're recognizing how, or you are recognizing how you've gotten yourself into that situation, into this situation by being an ego. And I think for others, this is going to be somebody else coming into your vibration and telling you that they recognize this, or showing in some sort of way. It's still kind of an immature way, but they're showing that they recognize that they have created a situation of conflict because they were not being in their integrity, and they're trying to kind of make up for this. There might be some small communications. I'm not seeing anything huge just from these cards, but it does seem to be in recognition of some sort of conflict. And I think for others too, there might even be a situation where either you are in a kind of thrust into a position of power, and you've got to decide between like rocking the boat and creating conflict, or going, you know, just kind of giving in and just saying, all right, fine, you win. But it kind of fits in with that energy I was saying in the beginning of, you know, we're kind of being tested to look at how have we used old mindsets and old crutches that we've worked on, like how are those right now necessary or unnecessary? One of the two, because a lot of our karmic cycles are being popped up. I can also see this too. This might be third party and karmic folks coming in to try to rock the boat of this king, or some sort of connection that he or you have that, I don't know, it's interesting because the character in this card is looking away from everybody else. So who, like, everybody else is watching this bratty character over here creating some sort of conflict. So it could be that maybe for some of you, even this is actually you taking back your swords. Like maybe you had a collection of them and someone is trying to come in and get this king to get you to drop your swords so that other people can pick them up and walk off with them. I don't know, but let's see what we got going on here. So on the bottom of the deck, we have the 10 of Wands in reverse. So this is definitely somebody who is ready to put down a lot of burdens, and mostly communication-wise, but this can be any number of things. Either way, like if it was upright, it would either be somebody like who's releasing them, like he's taking them to set them down and be done with them. And in this way, it's like struggling not to talk, struggling to carry on the burdens longer, to keep it going. And I'm really being pulled to this kind of like olive mustard color here, because it seems like like talk, like I want to say solar plexus energy, ego energy that is like not healthy. I can't think of a better way to put it. On the top of the deck we have the star in reverse, so that's, you know, that it's a wish upon a star not granted yet, and it's not listening to inner guidance, and there's no consensus in terms of things going on with group, because this isn't a very Aquarius card. So just based on, you know, the top and the bottom there and the shadow issues is somebody, you or somebody else, or maybe both of you, because we reflect each other, and this is a card of reflection, want to speak up about something, but you're holding on to it, and or they are holding on to it. And right now, because it's so foggy, the best thing to do is not to rush into any big commitments of any kind, and just try to listen to that inner voice, because you're going to be conflicted about something. In the middle of the deck, Ace of Cups. Okay, so what you're conflicted about, and or they are conflicted about, is a new beginning in love of some kind. It could be one that is communicated to you that suggests that someone you care about is starting some sort of a new love thing, but it doesn't seem right. There's something that seems weird about the guidance, or it could be that you would like some sort of new beginning, or they're talking about some sort of new beginning, but something doesn't feel quite right about it. Something feels out of place, and like there's some sort of a thief amongst the court. Now, if we just look at what's going on in here, okay, there's some sort of a... So with the Chariot is about momentum, and it's about victory. So something about holding on to whatever it is feels like it'll be a victory. Or if you're patient, whoever, whether it's you or them, the burdens will be released, and that will create a victory, and it will create some momentum towards healing. But it might take a little while, and somebody's feeling, they're feeling a bit narcissistic, a bit grandiose about things, but it's a mask. They're trying to cover up for kind of a codependent situation that is definitely out of balance. They've been juggling, and it's getting harder and harder to juggle, or you have been, and it's not fulfilling. It's not bringing what they want. So it looks like they're getting kind of defensive, or you're getting defensive about it, because it's time to grow up. Spirit is saying it's time to begin the journey of growing up. But there's also a need for rest and meditation and prayer. If you have a prayer garden, either internally or outside around your house, it's a good time to focus on that. You're likely to be dealing with somebody who's being fairly immature and bratty, and it might have you feeling on guard, but also feeling exhausted from trying to keep your guard up, or somebody around you is feeling that way about their situation, and they're either about to have an emotional breakthrough in the next 48 hours, or they already have, and somebody is going to rush in to say something or do something, or a rush of thoughts is going to come in either to you or to someone else. This is usually very fast action and communication. It's considered the fastest card in the deck. But notice, though, that just like in this card where the clouds are jagged and strange, so are the clouds in this one. So it might, even though it's fast communication, it might not be clear as to what exactly is coming, and either it's coming from the Emperor, like a fatherly figure or divine masculine, or it's about this person. And it has to do with some kind of a reunion, or a reunion is coming for some folks. There might be that Emperor is coming back, but there's trickery at play. Somebody is trying to manifest delays and things of that nature. Yeah, definitely delays on delays, it looks like, on money. And it could be you're trying to delay something that has to do with money, or it could be that someone else is trying to delay something. But when this card is in reverse, it's very much to do with greed. So somebody, or many somebodies, are feeling very greedy and very ungrounded, and they're probably trying to fill the void by focusing on some sort of money issues. And this can also be that Yeah, with the world card incomplete, like there's some sort of money that's supposed to have been coming to you or coming from you, and it's been delayed. And it looks like by like the Empress in reverse is a diva sort. She tends to make things a lot harder than they have to be. She doesn't flow in the energy of least resistance, and whether that's you or her or you or someone else, could be a third party situation, or somebody who's just not very happy with you for whatever reason. They're feeling disconnected in their relationship, or you're feeling disconnected, or they're trying to create a disconnect. Yeah, this card's been coming up a fair amount before. So this is hidden enemies, but they're in reverse. They're being revealed, and there's emotions that are coming out that probably were attempting to be repressed, which makes sense with this card. Like there's things are leaking out, and it has something to do with a commitment, likely some kind of a higher commitment. But everybody's gonna have to be patient. Spirit is keeping our cups apart for some particular kind of reason, and so for those of you, especially with this Tower card here, for those of you that feel like there's a delay happening and you're not sure why, just know that Spirit is kind of keeping you away from this situation that is probably happening with someone else, or they're delaying your connection with someone because you need to go through some sort of a tower situation. There's some sort of like false foundations that need to crumble away, and yeah, somebody's not happy about that. They either want to stay in a victim situation where they feel like they can make it seem like they've just got it so rough and they need you to take care of them, or you might know someone that has someone doing this, or somebody's feeling like they're being victimized by somebody else. And because the woman has her eyes wrapped in here too, there's a lot of stuff at play with intuition, and I'm really getting called right now to the kind of castle in the background here. So it might have some issue to do with housing or homes, or sharing of kind of a pentacles issue. And it definitely has to do with some kind of commitment, as well as stepping into personal power about it. And this would be a really good time to start really focusing on saving money. And if you can, like, look at focusing on something to do that you really love doing, because especially with coming recession, depression energy, with all this technology out and available, it's much more likely that you're going to find strong pentacles doing something that you love, rather than something that you think you have to do to try to keep up. And I'm also getting the sense that for a fair amount of you, either you or someone you know is going to be kind of overworking themselves, and yeah, losing some strength from that, because they're not happy about the situation that they have going on, right? And they really want this, which was in the beginning, they really want to have that they're ready for the emotional side of life to come in. They've been working, and it's not making them happy. They're recognizing that the commitments they have are not as deep as they would like them. They're probably mostly about lust, which, they might be using that. And for some folks, either the situation around your house is going to be very messed up, or if you're on twin flame journey, this could be people recognizing that they've been with a false flame. Yeah, some people are. This fits in, to be honest, with a lot of the energies going on right now. There's a fair amount of people walking away from relationships and situations and job situations that they've been in, either because of quarantine, or that they could stay in reasonably well before quarantine because they didn't have to really look at what they had built. They could just walk away from it. This is Spirit saying you now need to look at what you built. Yeah, somebody's indecisive about communicating something with someone that they think might be critical of them. This could be you, and there is a fair amount of critical energy out and about right now. So if you're feeling kind of off with her headsy about things, maybe reconsider that, but don't necessarily put your boundaries down. The Queen of Wands is kind of got Queen of Swords. It's funny that I said Wands. I'm not sure why that's relevant. There's a reason you only see one side of her face. Like, she knows, and because cape, her robe is in clouds. She gets messages from spirit. She's very intuitive, and she knows what to keep to herself and what to say. And so there might be something that you need to keep to yourself, or that someone else needs to keep to themselves, and don't get all karmic, don't be getting all weird about it. For others, this can be somebody else coming in to try to speak to you, either to create some confusion. Oh, that's funny. See, I was just talking Queen of Wands right beside it, right underneath it. So yeah, I'm getting the sense for those that are watching this video, male or female, this is likely to be you, and it could be that you have somebody coming in to try to communicate to you who is in this energy, and they want to bring you down to this energy. When the Queen of Wands is in reverse, it's jealousy and using sexuality in a mean way, and manifesting things to be tit for tat and vindictive and things like that. And like, you see that the queens are in this way, they're looking away from each other. So like, you know, this is a good time for you to be in more grounded energy and like focusing on just your own thing, and don't mind whatever is going on, whether this is a male or a female. This is somebody that's being very strongly affected by the Leo energy coming in, but they've got karmic cycles that they need to work through. And there might be some drama coming in, or it could be that someone is coming in to communicate that they want to build something with you, but that there's delay. And this is spirit coming in and bringing in this delay, and it's probably upsetting someone. This could either be a masculine, or it could be a feminine who's in toxic feminine energy, which we tend to jump into our masculinity side when we do that. But whoever this is, it looks like they're probably going to end their own situation just by being like that. That's like one of the highest narcissist cards. This card is one of the highest narcissist cards, and this is one of ascension. So either they're going to end their own situation, or that King of Swords is going to see it and end it, because there are better options. Yeah, it's a good time to pray and be charitable if you can be. And yeah, if there's third-party situations that you or someone else is involved in, you're probably going to get the truth about them in the next 48 hours. But it still might be a little bit of immature communication, and it's likely either going to sound like or feel like a nightmare. But many of you are probably going to get some sort of apology for something, or you're going to notice that you're kind of back in an old cycle that has still not been healed, or somebody you know is. And it has to do with some mother wound issues that they're still healing, and somebody around them that is probably trying to keep them from talking about some sort of situation, or using secrets in a way to either keep them or threaten them, or some sort of way like that. They're not sitting in their divinity. Yeah, they don't, that whoever this is, this karmic energy does not want you or someone else to talk or to see each other or something along those lines. Yeah, and it's looking like spirit, though, is going to give you the talking stick, or it's going to give them the talking stick, and some deception is going to be uncovered, and you're probably going to get an apology for some of it, or apologize to someone. And I'm getting more the sense of receiving an apology from a mature father figure, likely Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Yeah, they're probably going to say something about how indecisive they've been, and how they see that they kicked their own cups over, that they're ready to start a new cycle with their family, which, you know, if you share family with them or our family, that could be them, that they want a new beginning. But they're still dealing with some codependency issues, and there's going to be some waiting still. But keep your eye trained on the hawk's view, the long run view. Don't worry about any seeds planted right now. Like if you're getting told that, oh, I don't know, like if somebody is trying to talk you into planting new seeds, be cautious of it. It's very immature, and they probably won't grow. And if you hear of somebody that is talking about planting new seeds, and they've got all sorts of great financial plans, don't, take it with a grain of salt. Don't belittle them, but recognize that it's not likely to happen. And for the most part, they're just doing this mostly to try to protect their ego, because when we're immature, that's what we do. Either you might be feeling ungrounded, or somebody around you that has to do maybe even with that pentacle situation is not happy about it. They're not happy about the delays, but this is a good time for everybody to just sit back and try to relax, allow spirit to steer. You don't have to do it, and stay in your integrity, even if you're getting bratty, immature messages flying at you all over the place. And next 48 hours, pay real good attention to your dreams. Don't overspend on money. Try to save where you can. You could, yeah, this is another one. You might expect to receive an apology or some kind of romantic messages, but they're kind of breadcrumby. They're not going to be like these big overture gestures. It's kind of testing it out. But it does have to do with some kind of a relationship issue and family issue and karma, learning karma. Somebody had their heart broken, or they're letting go of a heartbreaking situation. Yeah. And then we get back to that card on the bottom. So next 48 hours for everybody, try not to believe too much. Don't put too much store in what's happening in the 3D, and focus on getting yourself back to a place of balance. Connect with water as much as you can, especially in this fiery Leo season. And if something dramatic is happening, do your best to just kind of remove yourself from it, or just observe it. You don't have to react. Even if there's some sort of ball in your court, a couple of days isn't going to hurt anybody. And if you do feel like you absolutely need to do something, then just trust that even if it doesn't turn out expressly well, that there might be a reason for it, and you don't need to know right now what it is. All right, if anybody would like a personal reading, please feel free to reach out. I will put my email in the description box below.